see a little recording thing, and then I'll kick off. I'll just pull this.
See it now, mate.
All right, great. I'll just pull this back. Can you all see me again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see myself, but it's okay. So yeah, I'm going to just do a bit of a walkthrough through Facebook Ads Manager. So ads creation, all the objectives that I use and when to use them, and just some stuff about audience. So before I can get into all that, does anyone have any questions on anything other than that? So is there anything Facebook digital marketing related? I can answer all that, and then I can just do a bit of a walkthrough for everybody.
You can see Brad. You can see Brad on the screen. Can you?
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
I can see on the side panel.
Let me just have a think.
You're still there, Brad. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Excellent.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
It went back. It's gone again.
Oh.
I think it's everybody's individual settings.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I can see myself, and I can see all of you.
I can see you down the bottom.
You've gone down the bottom and down the side now for me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Same here.
I'm in both places.
It might be because I'm recording my screen and I'm on Zoom. So because I'm recording my screen, it's gone slightly funny.
Yes, that's all we can see.
Yeah. All right. No worries. But if anyone's got any questions, just fire away, or send them in a messenger. I'll I don't know. Hang on a couple of minutes, and then I'll just jump in and go through Facebook ads.
If we can't share your screen, Brad, let's go back to big multi-screen.
Bear with me a minute. I'll just end my screen share. Okay. Yeah. Is feedback coming through?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're back to the multi-screen now. Everybody can see themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, well we'll leave it at that then. If we can't share Brad's screen for whatever reason, just let Brad talk, and you can all ask questions.
I'll start with one, Brad. It's Peter.
Yeah, sure.
I've got an off-the-shelf website by Online Picture Proof.
Yeah.
I've asked them to create a button for me for my PayPal, which they've done, which works off my web page. They've sent me a QR code and some code that I can use to create a button in Facebook, but I'm unsure where I do that.
Okay, so to create a button on Facebook that people click and then take you to your payment page.
Yeah.
Right, just bear with me a minute. I think I know where it is. I just got to double check. Pretty sure it's an option in Ads Manager where you can set up for emplacement of buttons. Just give me a minute.
I put the text they sent me for the PayPal donate button into the chat panel, just in case you wanted to see what it said. It's just a load of HTML, really. Or is it a link? I'm not sure.
See it under.
It's really hard to hide a link in the same way that you can write HTML into a word in an email. So you've got a highlighted blue word that you click. You can't seem to do the same thing in Facebook.
No, it is different in putting the buttons in. Let me just have a look. All right, so I don't use a button in Facebook. I mean, there's a feature on the main page that lets you set like a checkout up, and that's just in regular settings. But I mean, if you go into your business manager and look into Ads Manager,
right,
there's something called partner integrations, which if you're setting your website up to partner up with it, you can link PayPal in with that. Did you say you were using PayPal? Yeah.
So I'm using PayPal. I think the thing that I might be different from others. When we set this up with Judith, we set Ads Manager is working off my personal page.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, all right.
But you've got your business page linked to it, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Then that should be fine. Then either you can do it through partner integrations, or if you go on to, there's a feature in settings for the actual page. You can have like a scrolling checkout. I don't use it, but you should be able to import that button there as well.
Okay, all right.
And by a button, it's not like on anything else with like HTML code where you post it in and it hosts a button. It's just like a Facebook Blue thing that you press and takes you through.
Okay. Right. Cool.
Actually answer that. Right, I'll just come back onto Zoom.
Brad, Steve, can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
So, am I right in thinking that a lead ad is what they call a ghost ad?
I have no idea what a ghost ad is.
All right, okay. But basically, that doesn't show up on your business page timeline, does it? Okay,
that's what you mean. It all depends if you want it to. If you want it to, it can show up.
Can it?
Well, actually, let me have a think. I've never done it with a lead ad. I've done it with every other ad, because you can post it onto your main page, and then you've got a post ID. So if you actually click on the date and time of the advert you've created, so it'll open up, and in the URL at the top, you'll have a post ID. It's like 12 digits long. You can copy that, and you can paste it into Facebook. Oh, my voice just went. You can paste that into Facebook, and then you can use that same ad.
Okay.
So you can reuse the same ad by the ad ID into as many ads as you want. So I don't know if you can do it with a lead ad. I've done it with everything else but a lead ad.
Right. Just that I've got a post on my page with the photographers supporting the NHS. And it says, please contact us, send us a message or call us. I've also got lead ads doing the same, something similar. The Facebook, the thing that's on my normal feed on the Facebook business page has had well over 100 likes. But none of those people have actually responded with a message or tried to call. I think maybe one has. So they're not using that in the way I want them to. And then we've got a lead ad, which I've got two of. One I've tried with a photo, as we were talking about the other day. I'm not sure whether you were on that call or not, which has produced nothing yet. It's only been running a couple of days. And another one, which was the basic lead ad with the image that you guys supplied. And I've had about 5 or 6 bookings and about 20 people respond. So I'm trying to sort of push people towards that. But the thing that's on the timeline, they're liking it. Obviously, lots of people seeing it, but they're not doing anything about it. And although I'm commenting underneath it, please contact us. It's still time to do this. They're just not responding.
Are they liking your page from it, Steve?
Well, I'm going on and seeing who's done it, and then inviting them to like the page. And I've probably got another, maybe best part of 20 new likes on the page from that.
It's just down to the Facebook ad objective. So whenever you post on your own page and like boost a post or run it as that organic traffic, like a post engagement, then Facebook just literally finds people to like that, to like it. They're not looking at people who are gonna, contact you or message you or fill a contact form out. They're just literally putting the advert out to people who like, comment, and share and post the most. So in essence, you get what you pay for with it. Which it's great to boost a bit of branding for you, and it's what I use them for. But terrible if you want to, get some bookings in for it.
Right.
I'll just cut in quickly on this lead ad thing. I know you weren't part of the meeting the other day, Brad, because it was part of the NHS promotion thing, and it's not. But this is more about lead ads. As people that were on that meeting know, I've got one running and had it running for £5 a day. And it was getting sort of 6 to 7 plus leads a day, no problem at all. I haven't done anything really seriously about contacting them yet, as you all know. But yesterday I stopped it and reduced it to £1 a day because I wanted to slow the amount of things that were coming in. And I still had 4 inquiries in one day at £1. So I think that what we were talking about before, and I don't want to cut in too much on this, but once you get it to a level, Steve, I think that you can, you know, when you're happy with the number you've got, you can reduce it to £1 like we said, and it still collects all the data. But because Facebook has collected the data of knowing where they want it to go to work better for you, it seems to even work better at less money, which sounds absolutely crazy. But, you know, maybe you need the money to kick it off, and then the tick over money just goes specifically to very, very targeted people. So that was something that happened to me overnight.
Cool.
And I thought it'd just be interesting for you all to know. I mean, it doesn't have to be a lead gen ad for the NHS promotion. That can be the same for any promotion that you're doing. So
it's probably not for discussion here, but I put mine down to £1, and over 4 days, I've got 0.
okay.
So it performed the same way as the other ad.
Okay.
I think the thing is, though, is you've got to leave your ad running for that minimum of 7 days for it to get through the learning process, the algorithm process, so Facebook knows where it's at. Alan's has been running over a week, I think, and that's, you know, it's gone through all that process.
I think we'll come off this pretty quickly because we just the other day and come away from discussion.
Cool.
But Peter, I think our other problem is lack of people that like your page.
Yeah.
We've discussed that, haven't we?
Yeah.
So, you know, I think there is that aspect to it as well, and the number that follow me compared to you and that sort of thing. I was talking heavily to Jane about this the other day, so, you know, I know that Jane can take this on board and so on. So sorry for hijacking, Brad.
Oh, no, not a problem. Yeah. So does that answer your question with it, Steve?
I'll give that a try, see if there is a way of doing that. But thanks. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Anybody else get any questions?
So, Brad, where did you say go to your ads manager for that?
What to do? What to do? The post ID.
Yeah.
Yes. So when you're on your main Facebook page, and if you upload any post onto your page, if you click on the date and time it was published, it'll open the post up slightly larger, and you've got a URL link at the top, and then you've got a post ID code, so you can just copy that code over, and then when you're in your normal ads manager, you can, when you created an advert, you can use existing post and just post the ID in there, and then you can use the post.
Right, I'll have a go and see if it works.
Yeah, it's just so if you want to, I use the same actual advert in different ad sets all the time, just because I've got great, you know, social proof on it, and I want to keep using it.
Yeah.
I have a second question, segueing from what Alan just said. So when you've got a page that doesn't have enough likes, I think I've only got about 700. Probably got enough recommendations, but we're working on both of those in the background. Is there anything you can do to fool Facebook to be able to get your ad further?
Yeah, I mean, I have pages. I run adverts for another business that I run. That's property related, but I've got a fake Facebook page. It's just called John Page. You can probably find it. The page is called John Page. The pictures of Stonehenge. I run adverts straight from that page. I've probably got 4 people like the page. I get conversions just fine. It matters slightly when you. It depends what the message is in your advert, because people who like your page, it just shows a lot of social proof, you know. And years ago on Facebook, that's what my main aim was to get a shitload of people to like my page, so I had a load of social proof. And it was easier to do back then. You can't really trick it, but I think that if you're running adverts and your messaging's right, and your offers are right, then you should still convert fine. And if you want to grow your page, the easiest 2 ways to do it are to run a like campaign, which is they're both not expensive, but they're both going to cost some of your budget. But you can run a like campaign specifically targeted to get people to like your page, or you can run a post engagement campaign and invite everybody from that to like your page. Either really, or you can run I mean, you don't. You can run a lead ad and invite people to like your page from that, but the amount of invites you'll get will be a lot less. And
Okay.
in terms of cost per like, who did it the other day and got somebody I know spent £60 and got nearly 600 likes. So like, I mean, like I haven't run a like advert in a long time. The last time I was running them, it would cost me £1 a like, and at that price, it's kind of pointless. You know, you can get a lead for cheaper. So,
except we're not. So that was a point Alan was making. We've actually done very similar adverts.
Yeah.
And we're not too far away. In fact, Alan is in probably a lower demographic in terms of number of people than I am. And I put myself in the centre of Bristol just to see if it would improve here, and it doesn't. So something somewhere, if it's not the likes and it's not my recommendations, there's something else that must be causing it, because the words we're using are almost identical.
I think your problem is, Peter, that you're working out of a prison cell.
You're right.
and I don't think that looks very good when you talk.
That's much better.
Sorry.
So I think that you were trying to come across as a friendly person, but it wasn't working.
And I'm okay if it's not the right forum for this discussion.
Go on then, Brad.
So what's your audience you're sending that out to?
Sorry?
What's your audience you're sending that out to, and how much are you spending on it?
So I spend £10 a day. I spend £80 in total. I got 9 leads.
Okay, yeah.
And the audience was within a 23-mile radius, probably around about 280,000. We narrowed it down to women. We did have a specific, I think we had parents, grandparents, and something else, which we learned the other day we shouldn't have done. But I think that, Alan, did you do the same as Judith?
No.
No, but Judith has got more from being where she is and putting the same criteria. Judith has got many more likes. So it might be some of that.
Sorry, Peter. I've run another ad yesterday, and I've just done it on 23-mile radius, 25 to 65 plus, and left all the interests off, and it's given us 490. And the first thing that cropped up was you need to add more interest for your ad to go further. So by putting family, all parents and grandparents, I think that was the right thing to do.
I think the problem here is, and I know we're talking lead generation, it's not a problem because we're all benefiting from it, but I think that one doesn't fit all, Peter, for some unknown reason. And don't ask me what it is, because it's a bit like we were talking the other day, you know, why was mine working compared to 2 other people's not working when they were working out of a very, very built up popular area. And I think that although the basis can be the same, I think it all needs tweaking a little bit to make it work within your area, but understanding that tweaking is hard. Because
it's very much a tweak.
Yeah, it is, because as it came up the other day, you know, that I was accused that everybody's a farmer down my way, so they only understand sort of talking about clotted cream, cows' backs and various different things. And if you talk in that way, that they understand it. If you use that sort of terminology in Bristol, Reading, London, wherever, Taunton, you know, you probably need a slightly different form of wording. I don't know. You know, Judith in my area, though Judith's got a lot more people in her area, it's a similar type of area, close to the coast, very hard working, only just got cutlery and electric, you know, that type of thing. So the sort of terminology that we've used sort of works for us. You know, we don't know what coronavirus is because nobody ever comes to see us anyway, so there's not a problem. But other areas I think might just need tweaking that little bit. And I think, to be honest, that's where talking amongst ourselves and the help of experts like Brad and Judith and things like that can help, because they will know the little tweaks that might work for you compared to other people. And I think a lot of it is, for you personally, I think people knowing of you. You got 700 likes, but they haven't seen you advertising too many times, etc. in the past. This was something I was talking to Jane about the other day when Jane and I were talking, is that you got to build up some form of movement on your page over a period of time.
So how does that compare to Brad's Stonehenge page with 4 likes?
Look, if you get your ad offer right and your targeting right, that social proof goes. It does matter, but it doesn't matter in the long run. It depends what your overall campaign and what you want to do is. Like, I spend a lot of money on branding adverts, because my other adverts work well and I've got a budget, so I stick to that budget. But like, if I were just starting again, I'd just run hard sales, and then focus on that and then run everything else. You've got the old adage, I can't remember what it is. You got 7 soft sale, 7 soft posts, 3 soft sales, and then 1 hard sale. I used to do that. I haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah, I understand. It's the NHS one is not a hard sell. So we're trying not to hard sell that, because it's about getting people engaged.
If you want to post the advert copy in the group, I can have a look at it for you.
Okay.
And see if I can see any tweaks for you. But if you get your messaging right and you get your targeting right, it'll be fine. But I mean, like, if you're targeting an audience out to 280,000 people, if that advert's not worked, the easiest thing to do is just duplicate your ad set out and then set it live again, and then just test it. Because what that will do is you've got an audience of 280,000. You've probably only seen 20,000 of those people. So Facebook kind of puts you into like a little category. It's like a pie. Like it's pulled a little slice of pie out and it said you're going to only target these 50,000 people. Now those 50,000 people, you're going to see 20,000. If you duplicate that ad set out, it gives you like a different slice in essence. So it's an entirely new audience. So also it kind of depends on the relevance score of your advert. How well it's actually connecting with your current audience. Yeah. So that's the thing that might come down to social proof, is that if people are more aware of you, aware of you advertising, the better your adverts perform.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the more time the algorithm's got to work on your advert, the better it's going to perform. So generally with my adverts, they perform best after 3-4 days, and then on day 7, 8, they tend to tail off. It's one of those, just in essence of it. But most of my campaigns end after like day 7, day 8 anyway.
I ran it for 10 days and it bombed after 4, I think. I got quite a lot. Got most of those in the first bit.
What's probably happened with it is you've ran it those first 4 days, Facebook seen your advert not working. So Facebook really kicks you when you're down. So if your advert's not converting well, and it's not getting a lot of engagement, so clicks, likes, comments, shares, lead form fill-outs, and your relevance score is low, it's like, there's other people in your area bidding for that higher tier of traffic. They knock you down. So when you first start the advert out, you've got a roll of the dice to decide what vein of traffic the advert's going to go in.
Yeah.
And then if you're lucky and you get a high one, then the advert doesn't perform. Facebook are going to keep kicking you down them because they've got other advertisers that can fill those top slots.
Okay.
So it's worthwhile looking to see what your relevance score is.
Right.
You can find that just in the Ads Manager panel. So sometimes you might need to click like a little blue plus arrow to come up and see what it is. I mean, generally you want something like a 7 and above. You kind of okay. Facebook will kind of keep the ad there. Anything lower than that, and they'll start knocking you down all the traffic. I think it depends on how well the ad's performing as well. And then the worse traffic you're in, the worse the advert performs, and it has like a compounding effect.
A vicious spiral.
Yeah, it just goes down. And then when you know that's happening, you just duplicate the ad set out and you start again.
Okay.
So you don't need to create the advert all over again. And I wouldn't recommend like stopping or starting the ad. I mean, I do if I'm really lazy, and the advert's performing quite well. But if you know it's kind of tailed off and you want to run it again, just duplicate it out and then set live, because then it'll start all over again. You know, it'll put you into a different vein of traffic, basically.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm just typing, Peter, don't put that main text in the main group, because a lot of the members in the main group aren't part of the NHS advert.
Okay.
So send it privately to Brad, so that Brad can have a look at it. So that only, or put it in the main NHS promotion thing, and I'll give Brad access to it or something like that.
Okay. And Brad, it's only the main page you want. You don't need the form, do you?
No, I shouldn't need the form.
Okay.
I mean, everything. It depends. I mean, like most of my forms have nothing on them anyway.
Right.
You know, it's just to fill in or you know, leave.
Yes. Next.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Any other questions before Brad starts what he was going to say?
Sorry.
That's no problem. That's absolutely no problem. We're all learning. Any other questions?
Silence.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Right.
Fire on then, Brad.
All right. Bear with me a minute. I'm just going to try and. Oh, right. Can you all see my screen? Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Right. Just bear with it. All right, cool. Right, so I just thought I'd go through all these campaign objectives, because I was getting asked quite a lot of questions on these the other day. So I thought it might be worthwhile just reiterating what I use and when I use it for. So the vast majority of my adverts I run through as conversions. I can talk you through that a bit more in detail, because that just needs a little bit more of my time on them. But I use the reach objective, I use engagement, I use messages, and I use conversions. I rarely touch anything else. So to give you an idea, the awareness campaign is naff. You'll reach a serious amount of people with them, but it's just literally putting your adverts out to people. It's putting your adverts out to cheap traffic, basically. So it just throws it into somebody's news feed for them to look at, and it counts when they've scrolled past it, not when they've like clicked on it or anything like that. So it's all about getting your advert out to as many people as possible. So in brand awareness, that's where you've got your like campaign, and I've used that very sparingly. And then the reason I use reach is because I run all my video adverts, I run through the reach objective, because you can set caps on it. So I'll just open it up here and show you.
Liverpool, Simon is feeling a lot more sprightly as he shows off his selections to the store general over.
Jane, you're picking up everything in the background.
Oh. Yeah. Sorry, I'm on my iPad and it's a bit clunky. Right. We got a TV on in the background.
Oh, sorry. Mute myself. It's all right.
No, it's all right. I was thinking, is somebody asking a question? Right. So the reason I use reach is because the frequency cap here. I don't know if can everybody see my screen and see where it says frequency cap? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have one advert campaign and I have multiple ad sets. So I might have 8 ads in one campaign, and I set my frequency cap for 1 impression every 7 days. so that Facebook is showing that advert out. It's all about showing that advert out to the same person. So the same person will see this advert once every 7 days. I have 8 adverts in a schedule, so that every day a person's going to see one of my videos. Yeah, because I have 8 videos, 1 per 7 day. One day they'll see 2, and it's going to be a different video each time. So that's how I run a lot of my brand awareness, because it gets a lot of what I do out there consistently. So you get video views, and you'll get landing page views from it as well, because I have links in with them. But it's more about just kind of being omnipresent, that word, omnipresent, so that you're in front of your audience all the time, and that when they do actually make a buying decision, it's you they're going to buy with. So that's how I run a lot of my branding. And then how do I leave here?
Brad, can I ask, what's the content of your videos that you put out?
Okay, so I use, so they're all boudoir based. So they're either video testimonials, they're walkthrough videos. So I had a production team come in and film the full behind the scenes of a shoot. So from coming into the studio, having the shoot done, doing the viewing, and then, picking an order up. So I've got that video, and then just common questions. So with Boudoir, we get a load of objections. So we film videos to answer them all, about what underwear to bring, what if I'm really nervous, all the most common questions we get asked are common blocks to come into the studio. We answer as objections. So we do something similar with families, in terms of, where we are, how to get to us, what happens if you don't like having your picture taken, etc. And those are just like face to camera 2-minute videos. And we just rerun them constantly. I mean, in fairness, while we're down now for lockdown, we're probably going to be filming quite a lot of them, and refilming some and filming some sales videos as well.
Thank you.
All right, no worries. I don't know what I've done here. Let me get out. There we go. Come on. There we go. Right. So that's reach. Traffic, I don't run because traffic's terrible. But it is now anyway. Years ago, traffic was great, but for Facebook, I've literally just made traffic now to, if you're sending people for link clicks or landing page views, that's all it targets for. So you'll be running an advert purely optimized for people to click on a link, or to click on a link and view a landing page and then leave. So I used to use traffic a lot. I don't anymore. If anybody's running landing pages and wanting people to fill forms out, or buy vouchers or anything like that, the easiest thing to do is run it through a conversion campaign, and I can just talk a bit on that as well. So engagements, at the RMG meet I did years ago, I think, was that 2018, Alan?
Possibly. Yeah. Oh yeah, the very first one. Yes.
Yeah, I did a talk at that one, and I recommended everyone just to use engagement adverts. Don't do that anymore. So then they were vastly outperforming every other advert I was running. Now, if you're running an engagement ad, all you're going to get are people liking your post and commenting on it. So if you actually want people that take that next step and actually convert, then you need to use a different ad objective. Facebook have really gone through their advertising platform and made sure that each objective does what it says. So I used to run engagement because I used to kind of hack it in a way so that you could get a load of engagement on a post. Facebook would see that post doing incredibly well and put it out to more people, and you'd kind of have this like steamroll effect of your post, of an advert never ending. Basically, it would always just keep outperforming everything else. They've stopped that now. So you'll just get people who like your page. App installs, I don't have an app I've never used. Video views, again, it's very much similar to engagement. Video views will show you adverts out to people who are most likely to view the video. That's it. So it's why I use reach over it, because I can set that frequency cap. So I can make sure that I'm always in my audience's, I'm always at front of mind, basically, that I'm haunting them, in essence. With video views, you're just going to build a video base up. So if you're running a video ad, wanting to send people to a landing page, or wanting somebody to fill a form out, always use lead gen or conversions. So lead gen, I haven't used in a long time, but I used to use a lot of. I mean, I mostly run all my stuff through funnels at the minute, because I want people to take extra steps like online booking or purchasing vouchers, or joining a Facebook private group or subscribing to a messenger bot sequence, just so I've got slightly more control over it. But lead generation on Facebook works just as fine. So it's probably cheaper to run lead gen straight on Facebook than it is going through landing pages, but you get a slightly better conversion when you run it through a landing page. In terms of customer quality, because they've gone through a lot more steps. With a lead gen, you can make it really easy. The only thing I'd recommend is with a lead gen advert, you've got multiple options in how you set it up. So you've got one for, now let me have a think, it's been a while. All right, so you got one for volume and one for intent. I used to always do it with, always click the volume one, but always make sure you ask another question, because with the lead gen, they often autofill. So an issue I had a long time ago is I'd get hundreds of leads for very cheap, and then realize none of them actually filled the form out. They all accidentally filled the form out, because it just auto-fills them. So let me just open messages. I'll just open messages as well, because we're going to touch on something in here. So I use messages a lot, but there's two different types of campaign you can do. Oh.
Sorry, Brad, can I just ask another quick question?
Yeah,
so
sure.
Of those categories, if you scroll down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Of those categories, can you go?
You want to just go back? What, on all the advert objectives?
Yeah.
If we go back to it. Bear with me a minute. I'll just open it out again. In fact, if I just go into account overview. No, campaigns. There we go. Yeah.
Right. So when we for best results, because I would like people to be filling in a landing page.
Yeah.
Okay. Because then I know I've got fresh data with the correct email address and/or telephone number or whatever.
Yeah.
So do I click in the awareness, in the consideration, or in the conversion? What is the best thing to do currently?
You want to use conversion adverts.
Conversion. So really, the traffic engagement, video views, lead generation, messages, we really want to ignore that for the moment.
Yes. So I ignore all. When I'm wanting bookings, I run messages or conversions. When I'm wanting to build a brand, I use reach and engagement. That's all I use. But conversions all the way if you're building landing pages and you're wanting to build like a systemized funnel, basically.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. I'm just going to go through messages, and then I'm going to go through conversions and walk through it all. There's just, if anybody, so I don't know if anybody uses like a messenger bot. I use ManyChat. There's a few others. There's Chatmatic and What's Help.io. It's basically an automatic messenger sequence. So when somebody like comments on your page or clicks a send message button, it opens out into a bot flow. I use them a lot, but let me just get back in here. Next. Right. So if you're ever running a messenger ad, you always want it to be click to messenger. The other option is a sponsored message. I'd just complete, what am I doing here? I'd completely ignore that sponsored messenger. All it does is it inputs your advert into somebody's inbox as a message, and it will be randomly based on the audience you pick. So it's incredibly cheap to send messages out to people, but you're sending them out to the wrong people who don't want to be messaged, you know? So it just, I've ran some test ads out. I wouldn't recommend it. So it's always, it's gone now. Oh, it's always click to messenger. And then when you go through this process, I'll just open it up here. So if you're using ManyChat or anything like that, when you create a bot flow, you've got some HTML code. So you've got a normal like little sequence here that comes up. I'll just go to the bottom. Okay, so normally at the bottom, there's there's custom create. So I don't know if I've missed that. Okay, so it might be because I'm on my iPad, but normally at the bottom of this, you've got, because you'll need to create your message that you send out to people. There's a little button that says advanced settings. You open that up and there you can paste HTML code in. So then you can, when you create something on any bot you're using, you can just post that code in. So I use bots because I want to build a messenger list up. So
right, this day. So now I've got Mr. Beaver about some driving. Hope you're all doing great. Did you hear us on screen on BBC Newcastle Radio doing a live?
You did.
Cool as anything. If you want to listen to it back, you can go on the BBC Newcastle website and hear.
Don't know who that was. It didn't sound like Judith.
Yeah. So yeah. So I can't remember where I was. Oh, advanced settings. So yeah, you can post your HTML code in. So I use messenger bots because I want, in fact, let me try and, oh, it's not letting me tap now. Anyway, so I want to build a list up similar to email. So I've got just under 6,000 people on my messenger bot list. I can send a message out to them as a broadcast anytime I want. So a lot of the time it's just to follow up with their order or for asking for reviews or asking, you know, them to refer friends, people like, you know, things like that. It's just like another form of communication I get in. And then the last ones I use are conversions. So this requires your Facebook pixel to be set up. So I don't know if anybody wants me to go through Facebook pixel at all.
I think it might be benefit to some, Brad.
Yeah. So
background to it.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so Facebook pixel is just some code you've got from your Facebook account that you install on a website or a landing page that you want to, you know, drive traffic to, so that Facebook gets more data from it. So you do that in the pixels tab, and I can show you that in a bit. But so if you're running a conversion campaign, you just click conversion, and then when you open it up, it's just the same as every other campaign, but it'll ask you at the top what conversion event you want to run it for. So it's in this list that I have got a load of different conversion events. I have them for every different type of you know, niche or landing page I do. So I've got numerous ones for different boudoir ones, family, pets, you know, dogs, you name it. I've got a custom conversion for. And you select that conversion event there, and then you just fill everything out just like you normally would any other advert. So I'll just open up Pixel. So I use it well because it puts your adverts in front of the people who are most likely to fill those forms out. So you may, if you're running conversion adverts for the first time ever, your results, you should get good results, but they're not going to be what you'll be getting after you've been running them for a few months. The more data you give your pixel, the better it will be in the long term. So that's why a lot of the recommendations I do is I just use large, broad audiences, and I send them, you know, I let my pixel and the algorithm do most of the work. Let me just open pixels up. In fact, it's up here. There we go. Yeah, so this is a pixel I've got installed on my website. And then if I just click, so this, normally there's a little, like a drop down in the top right corner where these days are, that lets you install the pixel. I mean, it's already installed, but if you don't have it installed, you just click that. It's really easy. You've just got some code you need to copy. So if you're using like a landing page builder, or even WordPress, you just post that code into the header of your WordPress site. Or there's a lot of plugins for them now where you can post it into the header of all the pages. It's pretty straightforward. And then what I do from there is I create custom conversions. When it loads. Yeah, so these are the custom conversions I've got. So vast majority of them are saying no recent activity because I haven't ran anything. So the most recent ones are a view page have gotten a lead magnet. But normally when I'm running adverts, all these will have activity. There is a limit, but it's a, I can't remember what the limit is for custom conversions. I think it's like 900. Yeah, so you'll never run out of being able to create custom conversions. So when you want to create one, it's really simple. So I'll just show you the create one. You put your name in it. You select the URL that you want the custom conversion to meet. So if you're running something for an opt-in, so normally you'll need a landing page and then a thank you page. If you want in leads, you put the pixel on your thank you page and you optimize it for a lead. That way that Facebook knows that everybody who lands on that thank you page has filled in your lead form. And then moving forward, it's just going to directly target people that are most likely to land on that page. And then, so I use lead, I use purchase when I'm running, when selling vouchers. I also use, in fact, I can just pick that. I use purchase and I use view content. So the more pixels you have, the better. So if I've got a 2-page landing page or a funnel, the first page will have a view content on it, and the second page will have the lead form on it, just so that my overall pixels are just getting more and more data. The more data it has, the better it's going to perform.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
So I've got pixels on both my boudoir site and my normal site, and
Yep.
I've been kind of researching this, but I haven't actually set one of these up, so thank you, it's really useful. But my question is, you're talking about the more pixels you have. Do you mean the same pixel going on to each of those pages, or do you set up a different one? Same one?
Oh, no, that's entirely your choice. So I have the same pixel, and then I create custom conversions from there. So it's the same pixel being installed on every site that I have. And then because I do boudoir and family, I create a custom conversion so that I send it all out. One of my adverts goes directly out to families and the other goes directly out to boudoir. So if you just have one, is all you shoot boudoir?
No, I do both. So I've got pixel on each, I've got 2 sites, so pixel on each site.
Okay, yeah. Well, then you should be fine. And then you probably don't need to create custom conversions. You can just use Facebook's auto recommended conversion to install it. That way you'll probably get more data. So normally the fewer pixels, the pixel you have, the better, because it's going to get more data in just that pixel. But I run custom conversions just because, I've got a load of different genres we shoot. I mean, in hindsight, I should have probably just created a single boudoir page and had one pixel solely on boudoir. But, I didn't know what I was doing 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's why I've done it like this.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Do I have any other questions on anything surrounding this? I don't know, I can just go off on a tangent at times.
I've got loads of questions, but not for now.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can ask it on anything. It doesn't matter.
I thank you, Brad. I think there's a lot I've got to get my head around. I will come to those questions probably better once I've started to do some of the things you've suggested. If you tell me now and we go down that road, it probably won't make any difference to me, and others may be bored by the process.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no worries. In fact, I'll just open. I'm clicking things all over here. I'll just open an audience manager and just run through that with everybody. I'm gonna have to delete all those new campaigns. Yeah, it's saving them now. Oh. So I'm just talking to myself. I've only recently Facebook are now saving all these new campaigns. So these new campaigns are just campaigns I've opened, gone into to do like a little run through of objectives or audience or whatever, and then Facebook's saving them. So I'm gonna have to manually delete them all. So I'll just go through this on a traffic campaign because it'll be it won't really matter. Right.
While Brad's setting up, I'd just like to say, Penny, I like your new profile picture.
Right.
That was a self-portrait. I took it myself with the remote control.
Very serious.
Right. So with audiences, I keep everything really simple. So the only thing I change, well for boudoir especially, the only demographics I change are the age and gender. So it's women between the ages of 44 to 64 is my general audience that I run with. So that audience for me, I'll just put it in, is somewhere in a couple of 100,000. I'll just work it out. I always have people living in this location just because I don't want to pick up any, tourists or anything and then waste my ad budget. Where do I see locations?
Brad, are you suggesting that you actually get tourists in Barnsley?
Well, apparently we had a we before all this happened, we had quite a lot of Chinese tourists over because a Barnsley man took Christianity over. Can't remember his name. I should really know his name.
God.
What was that?
He's called God.
Yeah. Yeah, he smuggled Bibles into China many years ago. And now a lot of the Chinese people come over and have not like a pilgrimage, but like it's quite weird. It's only been happening in recent years. Please change.
Pilgrimage to Barnsley. That's a new one.
Yeah. Tell me about it. It's even weirder for us, Alan.
Hudson Taylor. James Hudson Taylor was the...
yeah, that's it, James Hudson Taylor. Yeah. Hudson Taylor. Yeah, that's the one. And our council is actively pushing for it, because we want more tourism. And I think like most towns we're twinned. But our twins are like old, ex-Soviet mining towns because we were a mining town as well.
So you're twinned with Chernobyl, are you?
Yeah, well, another interesting thing. We were twinned with a Soviet town who had a cosmonaut on it. And when they came over, my dad met them and obviously did all the photos for them and gave him a Barnsley Football Club teddy bear. And then when they did a talk from the International Space Station, this is years ago, he had the Barnsley FC teddy bear when they interviewed the cosmonaut that my dad gave him. So, small world. Yeah, so this is my general audience that I run with. So it's just at like 200,000 people. I normally recommend an audience size minimum if you're running cold audiences of 200,000. If you can't get your audience any bigger than that, that's fine. But minimum 200, maximum 500,000, depending on where you are. and how many people are in your location. So if I just alter this down to like 37. Yeah. So yeah, I that's all I do with targeting. But that is literally my boudoir targeting, and then I let the algorithm on my pixel do the rest. And then with families and pets, it's slightly different. It's roughly the same audience, maybe a slightly smaller area, different age demographics, and then the only detailed targeting I use some for dog owners. But again, I don't want to put too much in there because I don't want my audience to be too small. And then I do the same with newborns and, bumps and things like that. I tend to pull the audience just slightly smaller, but I do most of that just with the age. My boudoir clients, generally my older clients, my, newborn baby clients, generally my younger clients. And I can differentiate that with age really easily. And just because somebody asked me this the other day in terms of adverts, so if you're running multiple genres of photography out to multiple audiences, it shouldn't really matter. So I mean, if you've got a boudoir ad out, a family ad out, and a pet ad out all at the same time, all targeting roughly the same audience, don't worry about it too much, just because of all those different veins of traffic your ad's going to get put into. So like this ad here says it's going to reach, potentially reach 290,000 people at £20 a day. It's between 4,000 to 12,000 reach. I'm not going to get that in the slightest. In reality, I'll spend £100 on an advert like this and reach 25,000 people, But and then depending on what my offer is, I'll get between like anywhere between 8, 10 to like 70 leads, depending on the offer. So the biggest thing that has an impact on the advert and the advert performing is offers. So if you want better performing adverts, just tweak your offer. And you're going to find that when you're running custom conversions a lot, because Facebook's changed the learning process. Before it used to be 2 days. Now with conversions, you want a minimum of 50 conversions in a week, which it is quite easily doable, when you're running really fantastic offers. But for me, for instance, if you don't want to run anything like that and your offer's like a full price boudoir shoot, but you just use language to kind of tart it up slightly and make it seem more appealing, you're going to struggle selling those. Well, not struggle. You're still going to get a lot of them, but your conversion is never going to get over 50. I do that for my own boudoir studio. I pay around £12 a lead to get actually through the learning phase. I need to spend around £600 in a week just to get out of the learning phase. So that advert's never going to leave learning. So it's never going to be 100% optimized. Whereas when I'm running like a competition giveaway or a raffle draw or anything like that, or a baby of the month or a pet portrait awards, then I get you get a shitload of leads. So then your conversion's fine. I just thought I'd touch on that just because that it's frustrating. Running a really successful advert for 2-3 days, and then because it's not going to leave, it's never going to leave that learning phase, and Facebook knows it, they lower it down. So you've got literally 2-3 days of an advert performing well, and then you need to duplicate the ad set out and kind of rinse, repeat. But that's okay for me, because a lot of what I kind of push as well is to actually have a marketing plan already set up. So on the wall next to my desk, I have a full board, and I write out every advert I'm going to set out for the month. So I can't remember how many I've got. It's around 14, 15 adverts a month I set live. And I've already got them planned and for how long they're going to run for. I know what result I'm going to get from it, because I've been doing it that long now that it's all consistent. It's just about, making sure I hit some of those minor targets.
Brad, I missed the bit where you told us the difference between the leads that you get very easily and the ones that never get out of learning.
Okay.
What was the description of the never get out of learning one?
It's all down to your offer. So the the more value you can give away, because that's what Facebook advertising is all about. It's about how much value you can front load to people. So if you have an advert that's for a full price boudoir shoot, but you've just used some fancy language to make that more appealing, and you've got an advert for, you know, a competition entry, you know, the competition entry is always going to outperform it, you know.
It's Facebook perceived value, is it?
No, not perceived. In essence, yeah, it's just a better offer. It's just you're giving people more and you're asking them for less.
Okay.
So when you ask somebody for more and require them to do less, you're gonna get more conversions.
Okay.
So if you want £100 from somebody and you want them to fill 4 forms out, you know, you're not going to get as many people as if you want 0 from them and you want them to fill 2 boxes out, you know. So.
Two questions, Brad, from Selena. What's your opinion on boosting a post over doing an advert via Ads Manager?
All right. So I'd never, well, not that I never. The only times I ever boost posts are when I want to get out to the people who like my page. So if I wouldn't recommend running them if you're wanting to advertise, because it's just going to send you an advert. It's terrible, basically. If you're running it to get leads, or bookings in, it's great. If you want to, you know, if you've won an award or you've done something that week and you want to share it with the people who like your page, do that. Well, not at the minute, but before all this Corona thing happened, every soft post I put on my page, I'd boost. You know, generally it wouldn't be for a lot of money. It might be for like £10, £12 over a few days, because organic reach is, well, it's basically dead. So the way to get out and to be in front of people is with paid reach. And the more people that engage with your page, the more likely they are to see it. So by paying for that reach, it boosts people out, it gets them to like and engage and comment. And then the more people do that, the more my page is going to get seen, basically.
Okay. Second question, on a lead generation advert in the form type, would you select more volume or higher intent?
I always pick more volume and then just have an extra question in there. So I normally take name, email, contact number. And then a question I use a lot is, why would you like a shoot? You know, or why would you like this, you know, pet portrait shoot, or why would you like a boudoir shoot? Something like that. Because you want volume, but you also want to have like a pre-qualifying question there. It just helps with follow-up.
Yeah, and also stops auto-filling, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it stops auto-filling, which is well, when you first run an advert, you know,
on a landing page, do you say, Brad?
That's on a lead ad, but yeah, but on a landing page, my questions are very similar. So I always ask name, email, contact number, why they'd like X, and then sometimes ask for a postcode as well.
Yeah.
So I did a talk the other night talking about you know, like your client avatar, so your ideal client, and then how Facebook works with it. So the way I do it is I have a clear idea of who my ideal target is, and I know what age they are. So for boudoir, my ideal client is between the ages of like 37 to 64. That's her age. I target for that, and then when people are filling those forms out, I go in there, I look what they've wrote, and I can also look at their postcode. I know where all my ideal clients live just from looking at the postcode. I also know that depending on what they've said, you know, I know whether or not they're my client. And then I choose my winners through, if I'm running a competition, I choose my winners through that, and I phone them on. Then we have a conversation and book them in. So don't try and use detailed targeting to go after your ideal client through Facebook. You know, let Facebook choose who's going to see your advert and who fills it out, and then ask relevant questions, and then go through them that way. You know.
So does that mean that you don't put like interests or, you know, that sort of thing in the criteria for the audience?
No.
Right.
Very, very rarely. So for boudoir, I've got none. I've just got age, gender, and a circle radius.
And is that the same sort of thing for families, but just a different age group?
Yeah, so it depends. So I've got a few different family ads I run. So one that I run. I'm going to answer a question before I kind of pose it. So I run different adverts based out to different audiences, because eventually what's going to happen if you keep running the same advert over and over and over again, eventually the audience you're going to deplete, and you're going to get ad fatigue. So then that advert isn't going to perform as well as what it can do. So the way I get around that is I run different adverts every month. So some months I spend more because my offers aren't as great. You know, I don't run a competition giveaway every month. So my cost per conversion is higher than some months. But so your question with families is, yeah, so I've got a silver wedding anniversary. So I target people around 44 plus who are coming up to a silver wedding. And that's my offer. You know, they can fill a form out, they get a free couple shoot or a free family shoot. I've got an audience going out for people with younger kids, because for me anyway, the older generation shoots tend to be harder to do. And we prefer like a family with 2 kids, because on a Saturday, we want to book like 6-7 families in. If we get a session in with mum, dad and 2 kids, the average is basically the same as if we're getting a generational one. And we can spend more time on that family. The more people we get in, the longer that session needs to be. So I've got an audience for that. And then I've got an audience for, so I've used Facebook, and I've gone into my area and I've put postcodes in, and then I actively market just to my, to the postcodes I want to hit, for a family advert as well.
Can you just elaborate on what you say you do for your competition giveaway?
Yeah, what for a family one?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So, now then, I can't remember how much it is. I think it's £245, our family portrait giveaway. So I run that. I don't have a time limit on that. I run that advert every month, in some way. So I might target specific ages or specific family types, you know, like grandkids, you know, grandparents, for instance. But I run a competition giveaway every month. So it's 240. We select X amount of winners a month. I think we say 10 or 15. Sometimes it's more than that. Sometimes it's less. We give them a £245 gift certificate for the studio. So that gets them a 1-hour studio shoot, which is £90, I think. And then they get £175 to spend in the studio. If my maths is right from the top of my head. They get £175 to spend anyway. Yeah. So I think it's £245 gift certificate, £70 studio shoot, £175 to spend. And then and then we follow them up. So I take all their data on landing pages. A couple of days after I've got the advert set live, I manually go through all that data. So I've got emails going out to them, but they're more like for soft posts and building a list up. I manually go through all the data and I select my winners. And then normally on a Friday, so my bit will go live the Friday. The following Friday, I'll have an email going out and a text saying, congratulations, you're a lucky winner. You know, here's how you book your shoot, and have an Acuity scheduling link there. After that, on the Saturday, we call all that data. So we phone all the winners, we have a chat with them. We talk to them about their families. We take their full home address down and post them out a voucher. And then the next week, like normally Monday, Tuesday, we phone them back to book them in. So there's quite a lot of steps there, just because that families are more difficult to book in than boudoirs, because a boudoir is just one single decision. You know, there's only one decision maker there. But with a family, you've generally got more people making a decision on what day and time they're coming through and sorting schedules out. So we just make sure we've got a load of touch points there, so we make the best use of that data. Some people will book in with that Acuity link straight on the email. Some people will book when we phone them to take their details down about posting a voucher out. Some people will book when we phone them a couple of days after that, and then others book later on down the year. So with running an ad like that for families, because it's not like, you know, you can run an advert for a family shoot and get bookings in the next week, but it's rare. It's more like a long-term thing. So that's why I run the advert multiple times a month. So I know that I've got a consistent stream of family clients coming into my diary.
And have you always taken a booking deposit?
Yeah, we always take a booking deposit, yeah.
Okay.
So either £25 or £50 booking deposit we take down. So even though the session's technically, that's just using language. The offer's free, but they're still giving us 40, you know, they're still giving us £50 booking deposit, you know. So you just kind of change it round slightly. And then what we do generally with the booking deposit is we just use that as studio credit, so they can spend that on prints or, you know, frames or albums or whatever they want.
And that's added to the 175 in the voucher.
Yeah. Yeah. So the 175, our 12/8 print is £125. So it's whatever my 12/8 print is plus 50 quid is how much I give people to spend. We used to give away a print. We've changed it to now do that. And, you know, it's impacted our sales quite well. You know, it's reduced. It's reduced no sales because people don't, you know, it's now cheaper for somebody to get an extra print than it was before, because before they were 95. So they were getting a print and then we were buying another print for £95. Now they can use that gift certificate voucher and get a print and then pay an extra 75 for another print. So we lose money on our lower spenders, but it encourages higher spends, you know. So that's why we do it. You don't want to, you're always going to get customers who come into your studio and don't spend, or spend low amounts, but you want to focus on the customers who come in and spend a couple of grand, because that's how you get your average higher. So that's why we've done that.
Yeah. Any other questions?
It's off topic. How do you avoid not giving away digital images then?
We just don't mention it. We don't. We made the decision coming into, like, I don't know, late last year that we weren't going to sell digital files anymore. So we've just taken them off our product guide. If people ask, a lot of the times we get asked before somebody comes in, but they're just price checking us. You know, they're not our customer anyway. They're just phoning to find the cheapest photographer. So they weren't going to come in before when we told them they were £500 or £600 for 10. They're not going to come in now when, you know, we don't do them. And then a lot of the times, if somebody buys an album or if somebody buys like a reveal box, we'll give them the low res files anyway. You know, they can't print from them, but they can use them on Facebook.
Sure.
I've got no issue on that. And if anything, it just helps it helps your business giving away the low res files, because people are only going to take pictures of them on the phone and it's going to look shit.
Yes.
Put the pictures around, so
yeah.
But yeah, we get people ask, and I suppose that if we're moving forward next year, we're going to charge £175 for a single digital image. So if somebody wants to buy a digital file, that's how much it's going to be. And then, you know, we're not going to do any deals on that. So if they want 10, it's going to be, you know, £1,700 basically. If they want something to print from, as low res, we'll just give that out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Nope. Carry on, Brad.
Yeah. No. I was just kind of bring it to a bit of a close there with the audience, because I just wanted to make, you know, just keep it broad, have a large audience, let Facebook do the legwork, and then you just do the follow-up for it. So that's kind of me and my little presentation done. So I'll just come over so I can see everybody again. How do I do this? All right.
There you go, Brad.
All right, am I back?
Yeah, we're all back.
All right, sorted. I'm flipped, so I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. So I'm just going to do a bit of a Q&A now. So if anyone's got any questions, I mean, Facebook, marketing, studio related, anything.
Come on, you got the man in front of you now. You answer any question. What inside leg measurement are you, Brad?
I used to know that. Yeah,
Can we schedule adverts? Sorry, can we schedule adverts in Facebook?
Yeah, you can schedule them. Yeah. So in budget and in the scheduling and budget link, so you can put your budget in. You can set it for a lifetime budget or set a start and end date. So I use both. You can use a start and end date. So you put the start time and the date in, and then you can run it for however many days. So if it's 20 a day,
can I put like if I have 3 or 4 adverts, can I have one to start this week, one to start next week, one to start the week after?
Yeah, you can schedule all that out. Yeah.
Okay. Never done it.
Yeah.
Do you know where you do it, Annie, or not?
I'd have to investigate it.
It's in the Ads Manager where you put your budget in. You can schedule ads just in there.
Brad, can I ask about pictures that you use on the adverts? Do you tend to use a single image or a carousel, or what do you tend to find is most successful?
Single image single image and video. So I use a bit of video, but at the minute, single image and video are kind of performing just the same. So I only differentiate the two to combat ad fatigue, to make my advert look a bit different. But I wouldn't use carousel. I'd just use a single image. And then if you're concerned about what image to use, I'd just test images. So, I have 5-6 images out there, all as tests, and find the winning one. So I do a lot of tests to begin with. And then once I find out what my winning ad copy is or image is, then I'll generally stick to that for quite a while.
Cool,
this is an interesting question. What's the worst thing you can do in a Facebook ad?
The worst thing you can do?
Apart from have a pornographic picture on it that gets straight away.
I think the worst, there's loads of terrible things you can do in an ad, but the worst thing you can do in your advert copy is not focus on your customer and what they actually want. So a lot of the time, for years, as photographers, people run adverts and they think the value is in what the offer is. In terms of the, like you can give away more product. Customers don't want product. They don't give a shit about 12x8 or 15:12, or that your offers change from a 12x8 to a 5:7 frame or 15:12 frame. Don't care about that. They care about the problem you're going to solve them. So with Boudoir, whether it's empowerment or confidence or families, it's about reconnection. That's what they care about. The offer is just that little thing you get them to click, So focus on your customer problem, give value up front, focus on your customer problem, and then whatever offer you do is just, how many more clicks you're going to get. The better your offer, the more clicks you're going to get and the more traffic. So that's a mistake I see done all the time. And then people wonder why the adverts failed. It's because they're not focused on what the customer actually wants.
Totally agree. Okay, Selena's come with another one. Have you ever used a collage as a single photo in an advert, or is it best to use just one image? As would a baby girl photo appeal to those with a boy, etc.?
Yeah, so I've used collage images before, and the thing about the baby girl and the baby boy thing, I used to think that all the time, but realistically, it doesn't matter. If you just test the image ads, find out which one works the best and use that one. It doesn't matter. I used to have years ago. I used to have a boy and the girl on my Cake Smash advert images. It doesn't matter now. I use whatever image performs the best.
Great. No other questions have come in on the chat. Any other?
If you were testing an image, which of those devices would you use? Would you use the conversion technique, or would you just use
whatever if I'm after bookings, I'll use conversions and I'll test them all as different conversion adverts.
Right. Okay.
And my differentiation, so they'll all be going out to like the same audience, but the difference is the difference will be the image that's shown. So I wouldn't use the test feature. Facebook has a test feature.
Right.
I wouldn't use that, especially with conversions. They want you to spend like $1,000 in a week. If you don't spend that, they tell you your adverts you're not going to get the right data. I'd just run it. I'd have one campaign with a campaign budget optimization. So £20, £25 a day, whatever you're comfortable spending, and then have your ads underneath that. So if you've got 5 ads, have your 5 ads, all with different images, run that out. And then as the days go on, Facebook is going to put the budget into the adverts that are performing the best. And you can just turn the adverts off that aren't working. And then you can just kind of leave it like that. It's better than the test, because when you run a test, when you set it live, you can't edit it. So you can't turn one off during the test, because then, it's not a proper test and all that crap. So yeah, I just ignore that and run it through CBO.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? Everybody, I can see everybody writing furiously here, Brad. Every time you say something, everybody's heads go, which is really,
Brad,
really,
Brad,
really,
can you
really
repeat
good.
what you just said? So you don't but you do what?
So when I'm testing, I don't use the test feature that's on Facebook.
Yeah.
Just because of some limitations with that. I use what's called campaign budget optimization, which is it's when you click to create an advert, it's on the first page. There's a button saying, do you want to use campaign budget optimization? You click yes or no. You just click yes. And what that means is that you'll have one campaign. You'll set the budget at whatever you want to spend. So 20, 50 pounds, whatever a day. And then inside that campaign, you can have 5, 6 adverts. Facebook will only be spending however much you tell them to. And then in a few days' time, in a couple of weeks, you can start turning those adverts off when they're not performing, basically.
Would you need those to run for more than 2 days in order to get the traffic?
Yeah. I'd run test ads for like a week, 2 weeks. If you're running adverts out to completely, if you're kind of new to it all, I'd run test ads out for a week, 2 weeks, and just kind of figure your algorithm out and figure your audience out and let Facebook, well, you're not doing the work, Facebook's doing the work. You need to give it some time.
Okay.
It wants some money from you as well.
Yeah. Hanny, do you remember a couple of years ago, Mark Swinford did a sort of a session in Nottingham, and he was talking about funnels.
Yeah.
He absolutely lost everybody when he ran a lead ad campaign with 9 adverts in it.
Yeah.
But that's what Brad was just talking about.
Yeah.
Testing it all completely with 3 different pictures, 3 headers, and 3 bits of text, rotating all around and seeing what works. And that's basically what he was talking about then.
Yeah. So the more
is it best to just put the same text, the same offer, the same everything, except change the pictures?
So it all depends what you want to do, Penny, and how much detail you want to find out. I mean, you can go to the nth level, and you can test headline, advert copy, and image. And if you're testing all 3 of those, then you got 3 images, 3 headlines, 3 advert copy. You're running 27 adverts in one time. Now, I don't do that, or when I do that, it's a lot less. I might run 9 or 15 adverts out at one time, not 27, because it kind of, not that it kills it, but if you're running a CBO and your budget's £25 a day, or if it's low, if it's £10 a day, and you've got 27 adverts there, your budget's not going to be spread between that easily. So it only, if you're spending £100 a day, then easy, you run 27 adverts. But
the principle being that you have one advert, that you only have one change between each of the adverts.
Yeah, and then Facebook will find the winner for you, or as close to. What I tend to do is the things that matter the most generally are ad copy and the actual image. So the ad copy is what gets them to stop scrolling on Facebook, and the advert copy is what gets them to click. The headline's just like that extra bit that kind of does a bit of both. But the advert copy and the image are what I focus on most. So I might run 6-7 test ads to find out which offer works best and which image works best.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
You know, and if you don't want to run, and then if you want to run 27 adverts, if you want to test everything, then I test image first. You know, keep all the same copy, test the image. Once you've got your winning image, change the copy. You know, find your winning copy, and then do the same thing for headline. You know, and then after like 3 weeks of testing, you'll have your best ad. You have your best image, copy, and headline that you can take moving forward. But you haven't, you know, ran 27 adverts out to like a £15 a day budget. It's kind of gone nowhere.
That's a clever idea.
Yeah, so it just depends on what your budget is. You know, a lot of what the Facebook, what my mentors say in terms of Facebook marketing doesn't really work for us because like we're small service-based businesses. So whatever you're picking up from it, if you listen to anybody like Gary Vee or Ben Heath or Kuzmich or any of those massive Facebook guys, what they tell you to do and what works for us can sometimes be completely different things because they're doing big brands with large audiences. We're a small service-based business in a local area. So sometimes you just want to, just get straight into it. So a lot of the big thing at the minute, well, not at the minute, it's been around for years, is that, you don't ask somebody to marry you on the first date, So you don't ask for, you don't put an offer out in front of somebody straight away. You want to give them value. But like for us, that doesn't work because we can give them value in an offer. We're not asking them to marry us until they're in the studio with the credit card in the viewing room. That's when we're asking them to marry us. Straight up, the offer we're offering them, it might be entry for a complimentary shoot. You don't need to run all those video adverts out or run a lead magnet out to build that audience up to give them all that value. You can give them the value in a half-price boudoir shoot or half-price family shoot. That's the value you give them, and then you take them through that journey into your studio, and you get money out of them in the end.
I think you've all just seen Les's comment. So I've seen a few little laughs go up on this.
I didn't see it. What did he say?
No. He said, I'm going to try and learn Russian. It might be easier to understand. This is aimed at Les. You need to learn English first, Les. Any other questions, ladies and gents? I think we've kept Brad long enough.
It's been really good. Thank you.
Yeah,
no worries.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's been great, Brad. I'm off now to book my package holiday to Barnsley.
Hey, come through. We've got a Premier Inn just opposite the studio, Steve. Have you been to our studio, Steve?
Not yet, but it's on the list. On the list.
Yeah, it's just all the blueprint. We had a blueprint at our studio once. I couldn't remember if you were still a member or not.
No, I wasn't then. No.
One thing I was going to ask, is it worth going through all this sort of stuff now during lockdown, or should we just leave it for a little while?
Yeah, test them. Yeah. Facebook's cheap now because a lot of the massive advertisers aren't advertising, So yeah, just make sure your offer's like not too salesy, So say if you're running a giveaway, yeah, you can run it. You can run it easily now, It'll probably perform far better than it will when you run it in a few months' time and everyone else is advertising. So yeah, run your tests now.
The other thing about that, Panny, is that you'll have all the data from Facebook so that when you do come out of lockdown, you already have what works. And, and then you can put the serious money into that. Not that you wouldn't put money into it before, but you're not throwing away money on testing when everybody else is advertising. So I think, like Brad said, as long as we still get this morally right in what we're marketing, I don't think there's an issue in soft marketing at the moment. I think the hard sell is not the thing to do at the moment. That's me personally. Other people will think differently.
Yeah, you can still book people into your studio, definitely. But people still want to book. People still want to spend. I had a customer come for a viewing on what day are we on? Wednesday. She booked in for a viewing Wednesday. We couldn't get hold of her to rearrange it. She phoned us and left a voicemail asking if she could still come, and we did some social distancing. So yeah, we've got a big viewing room. We can social distance it. So we phoned her back and said, yeah, it's not a problem. We can do that. Didn't hear anything from her until she actually pulled up outside the car park. Came in and bought a reveal box. So people still want to come out. People still want to spend money. People will still book a session into your studio. It's just kind of, you know, sat in his hands waiting to get back to it.
And I think that's a workshop to do in a couple of weeks' time about what we need to do in preparation of opening, like that, for various different studios. It's all going to be different. Those with high street or shop front premises compared to those working from home, or it's all different in regards to health and safety and various different things. And I think it's something that we can all chat about it. We'll all learn what's going to work for us. Yeah,
I mean, I'd recommend you go out and buy, you know, all your PPE now if you can.
Yeah.
I mean, I've just spent around 40 quid on some boxes of gloves and masks and aprons and like 5 litres of, hand sanitizer. So I've bought that now because, you know, I don't know what Bojo's going to say on Sunday. I have no idea when we're going to be back. When we're going to be back at work. But if he announces we're back at work in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we can start slowly phasing open. You're not going to get any of that stuff.
No. It's exactly the same. And one of the things I was looking for were disinfectant wipes, and you can't get them for love or money. But Nisbet's caterers online, you can get a box of 1,000 large disinfectant wipes. I ordered them the other day. They haven't arrived yet, but there's going to be such a rush as soon as it's a lift. We've got to have it in place. So we ordered gloves, a few masks, we ordered disinfectant wipes, and small antiseptic wipes as well, like the ones you use for an injection, that sort of thing. It just means that you can clean things quickly and have them at hand, and you can give them to a customer when they leave the studio, so they can do their hands on the way out, so before they get in their car and so on. But I think there's going to be a massive rush, and they were really hard to find. But Nisbets were good, and catering companies was where I found them in the end.
So it's worthwhile buying all that stuff now. And then something I was having a conversation with some people yesterday just about furlough. I thought I may as well just touch on it here. That like when we go back to work, I'm not going back to work. I'm staying at home. I'm remaining furloughed. And so's my partner as well. We're both remain furloughed. So if you've got other staff members, I wouldn't, and when we do come back to open, I'd definitely test the waters with how many of your customers are going to come back. Because the minute you open those doors, all those business costs are going to start again. So the more you can minimize yourself to that, the better. Because we can run our studio, just my mum and dad and our makeup artist. Don't need me and Ruth in there. So if you've got staff and you can keep them furloughed, you know. And if you don't have the bookings in your diary ready to go, just stay furloughed. Stay furloughed, do your marketing, book people in, and then when you've got a diary, come back to work. The minute you stop that furlough is when, you know, is when all that weight's going to come back on in terms of business costs actually running it.
I think that's another workshop, Brad. It's a huge workshop discussing all of that.
Yeah.
Everybody happy?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah.
We'll chat to Brad again about calling Brad on about something else later on. As I say, as Brad mentioned, it's all going to come down to the phases and when these are all going to be operational to enable us to sort of open our businesses full time, about what we can do and what we can't do. But I think, as Penny was talking about just now, asking, I think now is a great time for testing. We've gone through the very bad period, and everybody knows that we're starting to come out of it now, and the public know we're starting to come out of it. So any soft posting and soft marketing around, I don't think it's going to really upset them by thinking you're grabbing money. So I think, as you were saying, Penny, doing some tests now is going to be economically right. Because you're going to pay less for the testing than you would do when everybody's advertising. So, you know, I think it's a good idea to do some testing now, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'm going to test one out for newborn babies, because I think we're going to have quite a few of them.
I think you are, because all the TVs haven't been working, so they haven't had nothing to do, have they?
That's right. No. We don't have TVs up here anyway. We're that far back.
No, we
We're
Judith.
lucky we've just got electric. We haven't even got gas yet.
We're a bit ahead of you. We've got electric, but ours is by that garage peddling.
But at least they can understand us. They can't understand you.
All right, ladies and gents, I'm going to end the meeting now, but I want to say a huge thanks to Brad again for answering all your questions and showing everything and explaining. And hi, Danny. Haven't spoken to you, but I know you've been there for a long time, so it was good to see you on board again. But I'm going to end the meeting now, ladies and gents.
Thank you.
See you later.
Speak to you soon.
Thanks.
Cheers all.
Bye. Bye.